Okay, hello guys. It's us again, and we're just going to quickly do a review of what we have been doing on how to read sheet music. Well, we first looked at the treble clef, which signifies the right hand. It wasn't clear on the other video, so we tried to redo it again. So treble clef, that's how you spell it, or sometimes called a G clef. It is used to locate the first G above middle C, and then when you go down to the left hand or bass clef, it's sometimes called an F clef, and it is used to locate the first F below middle C. So those are the notes you may want to make. Okay, looking at the clef sign, basically talking about these two for piano. A clef sign tells us about the arrangement of notes in a stave. Okay, so those are the notes which I guess you might want to make. Okay, I hope you've seen that one. We're going to remove it now, and we looked at music staff, which is composed of 5 lines from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 spaces from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's composed of 5 lines and 4 spaces, and these represent white notes on the keyboard. Now moving from a line to a space, or vice versa, is the same as moving from one white note to the next on the keyboard. Okay, so that is the story. And this step, because it's only a small thing, it is extended by using what we call ledger lines. Okay, those are the ledger lines there. You will see later what those ledger lines are. Okay, we're going to remove that. Now looking at what we have been doing there, locating the notes on the stuff. So let's look at the top stuff there for the treble. And now what we see there is that treble clef sign, and on the spaces you can see it's F-A-C-E as we have done it. It's like spells out face. And on the lines as we did, it's every good boy does fine. Alright, and then there's the middle C there with the broken line, and then the G, the bass clef, the lines, it's great big dogs fight animals, and then on the spaces all cars eat gas, and those B's and the D's in between. So this is basically what we've been doing, and that there is the brace or bracket. I don't know the right name for it, so you may find out from those who know better. Now we talked about ledger lines. So these are the lines which we use to extend the staves like that. So looking at the bass clef, when you extend it down like that, usually it's usually not more than 3 lines. So the bottom line is an A, the middle line is a C, and the top line is an E. So it's A, C, E. Alright, that's the bass clef. This is how you extend it. And as you would guess, in between it would be a B and a D and an F. Then you go on to the bass clef stuff. Alright, let's look on top there on the treble clef. Even when you extend it as well, it's an A, C, E, which we don't see. So it was just, we had limited space in there. So it's an A, C. It would have been an E if there was another line, a third line. So these ones are like that, easy to memorize. Okay, so that's all there is to speak about concerning ledger lines and staves. So now let's move down to notes, because one has to see notes which are put on the staves. So looking at the notes, number 1, we have what we call a whole note, or a whole tone. Sometimes they call it a tone. So it's only a head, or a note head. This is the most important part of a note. Okay, so I guess you can see that. Let's move down to number 2. We have a half note. Half meaning it's half that. And how is that displayed? In that note head, we're just putting a stem in there. So that's the stem and the note head. But the most important part is the head, the note head. So this is a half note, but don't worry about its name that much. Number 3, we have another note with that note head which is filled in or shaded in with a tail, so it's similar to a half note. This one is a quarter note. Quarter note. Alright, we move down. We have filled in head, tail with a flag. So that's an 8th note. But always bear in mind, you are looking at the note heads. Where are they on the music stuff? Because that's the most important part for you to be able to see what notes are you supposed to play on the keyboard. Okay, I hope you got that one right. I'm going to remove it. And we have this here. Try to make sure nothing else shows up than what we are looking. So these are the notes on the music stuff that we'll be looking at. Okay? So looking at the treble clef there, so don't worry, that's what we call a time signature, which helps us to count and keep in time and all that to signify the rhythm of the notes, but it's not a big deal. So if you look at those notes, the very first 3, 1, 2, 3, they are sitting on the very first line of that top stuff. Okay? And that line, as we've identified using the mnemonic for identifying the notes on the lines, it's every good boy does fine. So they are on the E, and that's the first E above middle C. And there are 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. And then the next note is sitting on the second line, which is circled by that tail of the treble. And we know that is a G, first G above middle C. Okay? So you can play those notes on the keyboard. If you want to find out what song are you playing there, you just play them randomly. Okay. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can already recognize the sound. Alright, don't worry. And then the next line there, which is the next measure, we have a G again. And then we play the F there, which is that first space. Okay? The F, and then back to E. Okay, and then we spend some time. Like I said, what is most important is for you to recognize the notes you're supposed to play. Then you listen to the song as you know it, or you sing to yourself. Then you try to play those notes in that rhythm. Then you'll be able to play the song. So let's see how those first 2 measures play. Okay? So this is Angels we have heard on high. So we're going to stop there because our battery is running low. Let's see you again on the next video.